Gray, the founder of the Young, Gifted, and Black Entrepreneurial Awards, and you are listening to OnPoint Experience, the official media partner for our 12th anniversary celebration of the unsung heroes and heroines. So, get on point with OnPoint as we build together and strive towards a continued pursuit of success.
That's how the world is.
That's how the world works. 100%.
Ladies and gentlemen. All right. Hey. So we don't really have. So I don't know if you remember this song. Public Advocate Letitia James is in the house, everybody. Letitia James is our Public Advocate of New York City for all the New Yorker listeners that are on this mic. Tuesday is Election Day. And as we said, as people are voting in Con, or voting for or yes or no for Con, we are also voting for people running citywide. And with us is the second leader of New York State, but most importantly, the first woman of color to be citywide elected, and we're so proud of you, Letitia.
Oh,
James.
God bless you, and thank you for that introduction.
And thank you for coming to OnPoint Experience.
Thank you so much. I apologize for being late. Was at a campaign event.
You got to do what you got to do.
Got to do what I got
But
to do.
you made it here.
I made it here.
Important.
That's more important. Hello, Harlem. Hey. So my father was in Harlem. Yeah.
Oh, well, we're all over. We got
Yeah.
people from all over here. Our listening audience stems from all over, I guess, the tri-state area.
Excellent.
But we felt like, number one, that you needed to come on this show and tell us what it is to be a public advocate.
So the public advocate provides checks and balances on the mayor of the city of New York. We serve on a number of boards. I serve on the NICES board, which is the largest pension board in the country. I pass legislation. I preside over the city council. We hold hearings, bully pulpit, we pass legislation, and lastly, I sue a lot of people.
Very legit state. We got to get things done in New York. Indeed. So, I mean, we just had a couple of questions for you. And obviously, I've heard you speak on numerous occasions, and we appreciate that we can look for someone and see how, how we can progress ourselves as well and have something to look forward to.
That's
so,
right.
One of the things, I'm from Brooklyn. I know you're from Brooklyn as well, right? Indeed. We roll hard.
Yes.
And a lot of things that are changing in New York City, right?
Yeah.
Tremendous revitalization, resurgence, gentrification. And how do you feel like, and I see some people that are competing and some people getting left out.
Yes.
What's the best way for some of our listeners with big buildings going up, skyscrapers, Harlem, big box stores coming in, for the average person to stay in New York City and compete? Any advice for those individuals out there?
It's interesting that you say that. I was at a forum just the other day, a social forum sponsored by social workers in New York City. And the issue was really about race and racism, particularly in our policy, our urban planning, and how we live in segregated communities. That was basically my position. Our communities are segregated now more than ever, and we're segregated not only based on race, but on economics.
Correct.
And so the issue really is, I look good.
Yeah, you do look great, by the way. I was just letting you say that. FYI. No one wanted to tell you that, so I wanted you to see it. Go ahead.
And so the issue is, what can we do? One, financial literacy. Two, we're going to have to build more density in the city of New York. We're going to have to go higher. But if we do go higher, we're going to have to make sure that it reflects all incomes in the city of New York. We need to build for low, moderate, and working families, and we need to build larger units for families. I come from a family of 8. And they don't build buildings like that anymore. We also need to understand that the market is not in a position, I don't think, to address the demand. And so what we're going to have to do is provide subsidies to individuals. And so what we are seeing in New York City is income discrimination, where you have a voucher, you go to a broker, they say, no, I don't want you. And the reality is that though that is not racial discrimination, it has a disparate impact on people of color in the city of New York. And so we've got to keep an eye out for those who are discriminating against us based on race, based on economic circumstances. We also need to put demands on this administration to build for low, moderate, middle-income families, and for young people, for those Gen Xers, and for those individuals who basically want to have a work and live space, and individuals who are basically entrepreneurs, independent entrepreneurs. And so it's really critically important because our economy is changing, and people just don't want a 9-to-5. People want to work for themselves. They want to be their own boss, particularly women. And so it's really critically important. I heard that.
No. When you look, election day is next Tuesday.
Yeah.
And what do you want people to know about Tish James when they have to, Public Advocate Letitia James, when they come in and they have to come out and vote and make sure they vote for you? What's the message you want to give them?
Listen, on primary day, only 14% of the electorate came out to vote. That's pretty sad. And the reason why that is because people just don't believe in politics and because there's a lot of apathy. And because of what's happening in Washington, D.C., things are just not getting done. But we've got to provide hope and inspiration and let people know that politics and government transform my life. I stand before you as the public advocate, as a woman of color, as the first woman of color in the city of New York, but I stand before you as someone who was once on public assistance, okay? And who understands the struggles of working people each and every day. So people got to come out and vote. They got to think about others before they think about themselves. We've got to change our voting system in the city because it shouldn't be limited to just one day. We should have same-day registration. We should make it easier for people to vote in the city of New York. We need to elect more women. We don't have enough women in the city council. We're only going to have 12 women in the city council at a body of 51, which is incredible. And so I need everyone to come out and vote no to the Constitutional Convention because there's too much at risk. Vote for me first, turn the ballot over, and vote no for the Constitutional Convention.
Well, we hope we vote for you again and again and again in the next couple of years. Thank you again. Public Advocate Letitia James, everybody. You're awesome. You're great. You represent all women, all sheroes, all generations, and we wish you the best.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you, listeners.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks again. We'll see you all next week, the On Point Experience. Thank you again, Dave. Listen to FLO Empire. Thanks a lot.
You're on point, yes.
All the time, Kurt.
You're on point, Ray. All the time, Kurt. You're on point, Will.
All the time, Kurt.
On point radio, we about to build. On point radio, we about to build. On point radio, we about to build. On point radio, we about to build.
Listen to On Point Radio Show every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. with co-hosts Curtis Sherrod, Will Jameer, Rayblen Vargas, and me, Yaz Hurston, as we empower and educate you, the listening audience, on current events, lifestyle matters, and political community issues with a twist of humor, intellect, and tough love.
So people, check us out at www.floempireradio.com. You can download the app or you can go right to the website and be sure to click on our radio show, On Point.
Love to hear from our people. Call us with your questions, comments. Share your thoughts. Call 929-227-42.